Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ghoul's Cafe, and I am your host, Ghoul. Today, we're going to be doing, as promised in my last video, a tier list of all of the middle evolution starter Pokemon. My last video was obviously just the first evolution starter Pokemon, ranking those from start to finish. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. I'll have a link for it down in the description. Today, we're going to be hitting the middle evolution, and probably next we'll do the final evolution Pokemon. But until then, let's check out the middle evolution. Starting off with Wartortle. I'll probably try to keep this video a little bit shorter than the last one. I realize 25 minutes is a bit long for a tier list. But that being said, I got opinions and I got to share them. So, you can feel free to skip through. I wonder if I should do... I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should I do chapters for each Pokemon so you can kind of skip to see where they're at? I guess at the end, also at the end of the day, you could skip to the end of the video too. You just won't see any of the justification. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That'd be great. I'm gonna go ahead and start us off with Wartortle. Personally, kind of similar to Squirtle. Didn't really like Wartortle a whole lot growing up, but I definitely liked it more than Squirtle, and I think I liked it more than Blastoise, mostly because of its dark blue color. It's pretty unique. It's different than the other two, and I thought the dark blue was awesome, as well as the light blue accents on the tail and the ears. This thing actually has some pretty cool lore behind it as well. On what it's based on. I don't remember the exact creature that it's based on, but I think Did You Know Gaming did a really cool video recently that talks about a lot of Pokemon lore that talked about it. So definitely go check out Did You Know Gaming. As for Wartortle, personally I really like Wartortle. I'm gonna give it an A tier. Not quite an S for me. Definitely isn't my favorite by all means, but I really do like Wartortle. We're starting off really strong here. As I mentioned in my last video, I love Bulbasaur. I also absolutely love Ivysaur. Ivysaur is, it's basically just a bigger Bulbasaur with a bigger bulb on it. It's got a little bit more edginess to it. It looks a little bit less friendly, a little bit more angry. I like that. It actually is a little bit better than Bulbasaur in my opinion. I think the colors bring out it, are a bit more attractive to me, and its personality is a bit more aligned with what I personally like. So Ivysaur gets an S tier right off the rip. I don't feel like I need to justify it too much more. Next up, I'm a bigger fan of Charmeleon than I am both Charizard and Charmander. I know I'm giving a lot of big high praise early on for Gen 1, but we're going to go A tier for Charmeleon. I think the color they gave Charmeleon is absolutely awesome, and I have some nostalgic factors with this. As a kid, I had a little gold Charmeleon like toy. I think I got out of a cereal box, and I loved that thing. I think Charmeleon is easily my favorite line of Pokemon in the the Charmander line. So I don't know, the color on it is fantastic. I wish they would have kept that going into Charizard, but it is what it is. Next up, we've got Bayleaf. Again, like I said, we're starting off super strong here. S tier. Bayleaf may be one of, if not the best middle tier starter evolutions. Bayleaf is better than Meganium. I just said that Charmeleon's better than Charizard, but I feel like it's not that's probably a major hot take, right, in this community. I feel like Bayleaf being better than Meganium is not a hot take. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. The design is fantastic. It's just super cool. The little head blade is super cool. It's a lot cooler than the alien antennas that Meganium has. And there's, I don't know, there's something cool about it. It has that cool factor to it while being a very simple design, and I like that. Next up, Quilava. This, it's funny because I gave Cyndaquil an S tier. I love Cyndaquil, and I also really, really love Typhlosion. Quilava, I don't hate, but he's just kind of awkward looking, and a lot of people don't agree with me on this. A lot of people don't like Quilava. I'm not the biggest fan of like the mohawk looking thing going on. It almost feels like a mullet. Like, I don't know why it feels that way to me, because clearly that's not what it looks like. But it's just kind of a bit awkward looking. I do like it. let's be honest, the Typhlosion, Cyndaquil, whatever line has some of the best colors of all the starters in the game. At least that's my personal opinion. I want to put Quilava harder, but I think the difference between my opinion of Cyndaquil and Typhlosion versus Quilava is just so massive that I don't think I could just throw it into A off the rip. So that's where we get the B tier there. Next up, we got Croconaw. I think I'm also thinking B tier for Croconaw. Croconaw has all the stuff that Totodile does, minus the, the cute, cool factor to it. This dude looks like Fred Flintstone. He's a bit tubby, which there's nothing wrong with that. I just think he looks awkward. The jaw looks awkward. He's very rounded. He loses some of that cool factor I think that Totodile has and that Feraligatr have. And I just can't justify putting it the same tier as, Charmeleon and Wartortle as much. So, I mean, it is cool, but not my favorite. Next up, we've got Grovyle. I'm definitely sitting on Grovyle between A and B. As I mentioned before, I'm not the biggest fan of the Trico line. I do think Sceptile is pretty cool, and Grovyle is objectively a great design. I think we're going to go A. I think Grovyle's design is enough to carry it here, regardless of how I feel about the Pokemon line, right? The Trico line. Grovyle just is really well designed. I mean, everything about it is awesome. I almost would have liked to see Grovyle as a final evolution. They could have done a little bit more with its design to make it there, and it would have been awesome. Sceptile is cool, but like Grovyle's got this like, he almost feels like he could fly. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint. I mean, I'm sure you guys can do it. If you guys can formulate as to why Grovyle is so cool, I think he's very well loved in the community too as far as a middle starter goes. Let me know. Next up, we've got Combusken. I'm going to give Combusken a D tier. While not completely awful, it kind of lacks in the design department here. Combusken feels like a Pokemon that you could catch. Like, Gen 3 kind of has that to me. Like, I feel like a lot of Gen 3 Pokemon do feel a bit similar in terms of how they're designed. And that's not necessarily bad or good, but, like, Combusken feels on par with, like, Makuhita and Hariyama. Like, I don't know why I kind of get that similar vibe. Same with, like, Vigoroth. Like, they've got this, weird kind of aggression to them. They also just feel rather plain, like just like regular animals. Although Combusken clearly is like a chicken that doesn't look like a chicken. But there's something about him that just feels kind of boring. There's not a lot going for it. Marshtomp. I'm going to give Marshtomp an E. It's weird. Marshtomp just kind of looks soulless. And I'm going to do you guys a favor real quick. And pull up this dude. What is this? It's behind my screen right now. How do I do this? Okay. There. I can't get it to pull it properly. But this right here, it's kind of terrifying. Can I get a better view of that? I don't know. Just look up Marshtomp. His eyes are soulless. He's creepy looking. You can kind of see it here. There we go. There we go. Look on the right. Terrifying. Garbage. Not a fan. Definitely not. I wouldn't say it's F tier because I think the colors are great and the overall like shape of the design is okay, but the dude is just not doing it for me. Grotle. I'm gonna give Grotle a C. He'll be our first C tier. He's a pretty middling, Grotle's a pretty middling evolution to me. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think the gold accents are pretty cool, and the bush on its back is pretty cool. But there's nothing about it that makes me really love it. So, there is a chance that it could make it to B just from a design standpoint being pretty solid. I think C might start to fill up here, but overall, Grotle I think is a pretty safe C tier for me. Monferno. I talked about this before. Oddly enough, I do think Monferno is a bit more interesting than Combusken, while still not really doing very much in this, the same issue I have with Combusken, where, I mean, it's literally just a monkey, right? It's a monkey with a fire tail. Nothing different about it. Like, at least with, Charmander, it's, it's a salamander, but it's standing on, 2 legs, standing up, Monferno's just a monkey. Like, they didn't really change anything about it, so it feels a bit uninspired, not super awesome. Next up, we've got Prinplup. Prinplup, I'm going to give a C as well. Prinplup's alright. It's, personally, I might like Prinplup better than Piplup. It is kind of a cool, like, natural progression from Piplup to Empoleon. Like, it's one of the better ones that fit in the middle there. It actually looks like a mix between the two, rather than kind of just being, feeling a bit awkward, like the awkward teenage stage. And I do like the simple design. Like, they didn't overdo it by any means, but they didn't underdo it either. There's not a whole lot going on, but it's just enough for me. But again, I don't really care too much for the Piplup line, and I don't have anything extra. There's nothing really making me love Prinplup. Servine. That's a tough one. I want to say D or E. I think I'm going to go E on Servine. It's just not... It's just kind of there. I don't know. I don't like the whole elegant look kind of thing. And, like, is this supposed to... What? Is it a snake? I don't know. It's something. It's a strange one. I don't really like Serperior either, but I think Servine just doesn't feel right. It got bigger, but, like, than Snivy, but, like, it lost the coolness of Snivy. Now it's just kind of... I don't know. I don't even know how I feel. I don't even know how to feel about it. It's just kind of there. Next up, we got Pignite. Pignite's better than Marshtomp in my opinion. I mean, he's really, like, goofy and kind of ugly looking. From the front too, especially. Like, I don't, its wrestler outfit looks kind of goofy, but I don't hate it. I may like Pignite better than Monferno. I'm one of the few people that don't hate the Tepig line, so I kind of trash talked on Pignite last time, but I do think it is decent at best, but definitely not trash. A D sounds like trash, but if you think about, there's still an E and an F tier. F tier is absolute trash, and I'm not sure if there are any in this. We'll get there. Duat. Duat gets a B tier. Look how freaking cool this dude looks. Like, I don't even like Samurott, and I think Oshawott pretty okay, but Duat looks sick. He looks really cool. You know what? We're going to give Duat an A tier. We're going to give Duat an A tier. The design is really cool. It's got the little shells for Razor Shell, and, I mean, he fits the whole, like, samurai theme far better, in my opinion, than Samurott. He's got, like, the samurai look, like he went home and took his armor off. Like, he's like in the process of taking his armor off. That's what we got there. Quilladin. Bad. It's just bad looking. But it's not Bruxish. It's not Bruxish bad. Quilladin gets E. And I got a little bit of love for the Chespin line, regardless of how terrible they look, because I chose Chespin when I started Gen 6. I had never started with a Grass-type Pokemon. I had always chosen Fire up till that point. And so I decided, let's switch it up. Chespin looks really cool. I think it's going to turn out really cool. And this was like, I decided that year I was not going to look into the Pokemon before the game came out. I regretted it because I saw Quilladin and I was like, dude, what is this weird looking armadillo ball poison? What is it? It's I don't know what it is. It's kind of goofy. But, I think with having used it first in that game, and to be quite honest, Gen 6 was probably my best experience I ever had with Pokemon. That's when I got back into it after taking years off as a kid. I think I have just some love for that time of playing it. So I can't quite say it's absolute trash. It's better than Marshtomp. Breaksin. I kind of want to just follow my gut on this one. Like this is like my follow my heart on this one. And I kind of want to toss Breaksin in S tier. Like, when I first said the word Breaksin, I immediately was like S tier. That's what came into my mind, so I think I kind of just want to follow that. It's tough. Like, I mentioned before I like the Finnegan line, right? I think Delphox is really cool. The execution's really cool. But I do think I like the edginess that Breaks and brings to that line. Obviously, what's it called? Finnegan is kind of a bit more cutesy looking. Breaks in, brings some edginess to it. It's got its wand. The color execution's really cool. And this is going to be one of the hot takes. This is going to be one of the bigger hot takes from this. So, feel free to fight me down in the comments below. Frogadier, B tier. It's cool. It feels like a solid middle ground to an extent of Froakie and Greninja, but it does kind of feel a little bit weird because Froakie is just a frog. Frogadier's like your butler, or like he feels like almost kind of got some sort of like European-ness to him. I don't know why. And then you get Greninja, who's like a ninja. So it is kind of and conceptually it feels different, but in terms of the visual aspect of it, it feels very similar. I don't know. I think it could have been a little bit better, but as far as how it looks on its own, it's really cool. Dartrix. I hate Dartrix. Dartrix my F tier? I feel like it's hard for me to give any Pokemon an F tier because of how much I just like Pokemon. I like design. We got to give him E tier. Dartrix is just a frat boy. Like, it looks like a frat boy. I don't like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't like it. Well, I don't know. It does not feel like Rowlette's cool. It's cute. It's a little ball, and then you get a frat boy, and then you get like a Shadow Assassin. What? Didn't feel right to me. Torracat, S tier. Love Torracat. The entire I'm gonna let you know now. A little bit of a spoiler for the next video. The Litten line is S tier. Sorry if you believe otherwise. You're wrong. I will fight you on that. The whole Litten line's S tier. Red and black, great color scheme. Their eyes look sick. They have a natural coolness to them. Their personality shows really well. And it's a personality that I personally like to see in Pokemon. That edginess that I've mentioned a million times at this point. The whole thing's good. It's good. No complaints at all. And it's a great progression from Litten to Incineroar. Brionne, F tier. It's bad. It's bad, and it's an abomination. Its eyes are goofy looking. Its nose is goofy looking. Its ears are goofy looking. There is... if there's one redeeming quality about this Pokemon is I do like the color scheme of the Popplio line, the pink and blue, but that's it. It's literally just the colors. Like, if I were to take the swatches of those colors, the hex codes, and put them down, I'm like, okay, these are cool, and then I see them on Brionne and see Brionne, and I'm like, dude, this thing is hot dog water. Why? It's bad. It's just bad. It's just goofy. I don't know. Don't like it. Grookey. Not Grookey. Thwackey. I like Thwackey. He's just, you take, Grookey's like a little chibi bobblehead looking thing, and Thwackey's you just put a bigger body on Grookey. It's weird, but I like it. I know a lot of my friends hated this, and I couldn't understand why. But he's weird, but in a good way. It's not weird like in a Brionne way. It's he's goofy, but in a good way. Raboot's super cool. Also an A tier. I mean, the dude's actually, I'm gonna give it a B tier. I don't like how humanoid Raboot is in that. It has a perfect human stance, right? Thwacky's got a little bit of a hunch over. It's got its arms up like this. It's kind of got somewhat of a monkey look to it. Raboot's literally just take the head off, and it's just a cartoon body for a human. And I don't really like that about it. But as far as the whole little ninja look, it's got its hoodie on, and the face mask covering its mouth. It's pretty cool. I like it in Pokemon Unite. Well, I don't know if I could say that. I like playing it. Don't like playing against it. And lastly, Wow, this is very weighted like a U shape here. Very different from last time. Drizzile. I love Drizzile. I love Drizzile. It's super cool. I like its emo look it's got going on. Its mittens are kind of cool. Um, the color scheme is great. Like, I have zero complaints about this Pokemon. I don't want to say I quite like it as much as like Charmeleon and Wartortle. It's one of those Pokemon. I think the execution was done properly. In my opinion, it's got that cool like middle stage. I think the progression of the Sobble line is kind of cool, regardless of how my distaste for Sobble Ray. Where you have Sobble, who's this like whiny little baby Pokemon who grows up to be a whiny little baby emo lizard, and then is like, bam, now I'm a secret agent. I think that's kind of funny and cool the way they did that. Even though I think Inteleon's pretty bad in terms of design, and we'll get into that next episode. But Drizzile, I love Drizzile. I got love for that Pokemon, even though tons of people hate it. So let's do one last sweep through to see if there's anything that we need to change here before we finish. As far as the S tier, we're good. A tier, we're good. B tier, I don't think I want to move anything there. C tier, I think we're solid. D tier, I think I kind of want to bring Pignite up to C. Like, I did kind of trash Pignite a little bit, but I don't know. I like Pignite's personality. Like, it's got that smugness to it. It's got that confidence to it. I don't want to say smug. It's got confidence to it. I like that about it. The dude's like, I'm flexing on you right now. But overall, it's kind of ugly looking. But as far as, like, I think there was parts of its execution that were done really well, and it makes it pretty average to me. Plus, Imbor's really cool. D, I think, is fine. E, I for some reason, I want to do this. I give a lot of justification as to why I think Quilladin is bad, but it's hard for, like I said, I've got love for that game. It's hard, and for that line, even though I think the design is bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And I use personality a lot in this, but I do think Quilladin's got some interesting, like, fun personality. I feel like it would be a fun anime character. We got Soulless, and the other two, not so great, and disgusting clown thingy. Like, it's a clown. But overall, yeah, I think that's the end of my tier list here. Be on the lookout for another one here soon for the final evolutions, and then we'll be moving on to some potentially bigger and better lists, like ranking all of Gen 1. We'll probably do it a bit faster. I don't think I'll do as much justification. You'll have to let me know, if you like this longer format when I'm, giving a lot of justification for every Pokemon, or if you would like me to just kind of throw it there and maybe add some stuff here or there for the lower tiers or the higher tiers, and then leave C for what it is, and you guys can discuss it down in the comments below. So, again, leave that feedback for me. I would absolutely love that. Let me know if you want me to do like chapters or something like that, if that would even be beneficial. I don't want to go through the time if it's not beneficial at all. If you're going to skip to the end anyways, feel free to do that. But until next time, guys, peace out.